All right, what's up, everybody? I'm back for another trade recap. Today was a very simple, easy trade. I'll pop it up right on the screen right here for you guys to see. Very simple, easy trade. I was done trading within 15 minutes of the market being open, and it's so fucking simple. My strategy is so simple, and you can literally do the exact same thing that I do. Now, if you guys don't know my strategy, it's 3 easy steps: liquidity sweep, inverse fair value gap, or a fair value gap, and the draw on liquidity. It's so simple. So let's get right into it. So let's look on a higher time frame before market even opens. So let's do replay mode and then pretend that we can't see what New York session did. And let's go on the 15-minute time frame. So let's get rid of all the drawings and stuff. So we can see that let me get rid of this too. All right, we came down during Asia session, dumped all the way down, sweeping these lows that we had from November 7th. And then we also had these lows down here, which was also a good draw on liquidity. So I had kind of 2 ways of looking at this today. So I had either A, we flip and reverse all the way up to the upside, which we are respecting this liquidity sweep, or we disrespect this liquidity sweep and we continue lower to sweep these lows. Because like I said, draw on liquidity, like I always talk about, draw on liquidity is basically where price always wants to target. It's like a magnet. You always have to think of liquidity as a magnet point. So like I said, I had 2 ways of going about this today. I didn't really know where price wanted to go. All I wanted to see was either do we continue lower or do we reverse? That's all I wanted to see. So let's go back to the 1-minute time frame. And let's put the sessions back on. And let's get rid of let's do one. Okay, boom. So 5 minutes into market open. Okay, actually let's take a step back. What do we see right away? It's very simple. What do we see right away? We sweep the liquidity from London session low. That's already telling me, all right, we could either dump, continue lower, or we reverse and have a confirmation that we're going to continue higher. Now, another thing I did want to mention as well, because I will forget, we also had an SMT. All right, and SMTs are beautiful for reversal. So boom, we see that we have this low from November 7th, and we failed to sweep that low. So this is already another example of, hey, price might want to just continue higher instead of going lower. All right, so like we always talk about, price always needs to go lower before we make a move up. Now, this is what I see. I see an inverse fair value gap right here, or a fair value gap right here. All right, we could either do 2 things. We could inverse it, close above, or we could retrace back into it, close inside of that fair value gap, and then dump out of there. So I was going for 2 different ways. And if we wanted to retrace, perfect. If we wanted to close above, perfect. I'm looking for 2 different ways. All right, now, this is already telling me that we could either go 2 ways. Now, what I want to do is find where my targets are. So let's go on like the hourly time frame, and let's see, do we have any, pretend like you don't see this big white candle. Do we have any areas of liquidity or areas where there are unfilled orders? So we see right here on the hourly time frame that we have this 1 hour fair value gap, which is a perfect draw on liquidity. Now, it's not necessarily liquidity, but it's a spot where price would most likely want to retrace to, and you have to think about something like this as a magnet. So let's put a magnet here, just for shits and giggles, and I'll show you guys why. All right. Think about points like of liquidity and points of a retracement as a magnet, because price always wants to draw towards either liquidity or a rebalance. All right. So let's pretend that this is that's the magnet area. Now, like I said, 2 ways we're going about this. We either retrace back, close it inside, or we make a move up and close above. Now, the only reason why I would want to take shorts is if we close inside of the fair value gap. So in this case, let's just say, for example, we made a move up, we close inside of it. I'm not taking shorts right away because we could easily inverse this and close on the next candle above and inverse that completely, I'd lose my money. What I usually like to do when I see fair value gap retracements, I like to see displacement down. So I like to see price close inside to give me confirmation that, hey, we might close inside and make a move down. But I want to see displacement as a 100% confirmation telling me, hey, we're going to dump. All right. Now, I don't mind risking a couple points for confirmation. I'd rather risk, 10 points or whatever, how many points this is for. Oh, shit. Okay. Pretend like, okay, cool. All right. I'd rather risk a couple extra points just to, sacrifice my profits rather than lose it all. All right. So we could easily do something like this. Now, let's just say, for example, we do want to dump, all right? I would want to see a closure inside of it and a displacement out of that fair value gap. Now, if we close below that fair value gap, this is giving me confirmation that we are going to dump, all right? At this point, I'm going to take shorts, have my stop loss above that fair value gap per usual, and then target my draws and liquidity. Easy, right? No problem. But what did we see the next candles do? Now let's take a look. So let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. All right, we made a move up. Now, a lot of people here would say, hey, we're going to dump because we have this fair value gap and we retrace back into it. Dude, this is perfect. I'm gonna take shorts. All right, cool. Let's say you take shorts. All right, my stop loss is above that fair value gap. Let's see what happens. Oh, you get fucked. All right, come on. Easy. What happens here? We inverse this fair value gap. This is why I say candle closure is exactly what you need. Candle closure will tell you exactly what price wants to do and what it will do. All right. So like I said, candle closure will tell you what price wants to do and what it will do. Simple as that. All right. We closed above. I'm entering longs. Oh, I don't know why the color is different. Entering longs. My stop is a little bit. The RR is kind of fucked up on this because this is like a huge fucking candle, and I usually always have my stop loss below the inverse, and this is a huge stop loss. But either way, target the that draw on liquidity, which is that London or that 1 hour fair value gap that we've had right here. All right, and I am also going to set my break even. Now, if you see at market open high, we have this this high right here, this resting high. I'm going break even on that, without a doubt. I'm going break even on that. Now, let's see what happens. Second candle, I'm already break even now, so I don't care what happens in this trade. I could go risk free. All right, I could go risk free. I could hit my stop loss. I don't give a fuck. I'm risk free on this trade. There's no stop loss. There's no risk on the table right now. Boom, just like that, and that's it. That's all you need. It's that simple of a strategy. 3 different things. I guess 4. Higher time frame bias, understand where price wants to go. You want to see a liquidity sweep, fair value gap, or an inverse fair value gap, and draw on liquidity. That's it. It's so fucking simple. And look, I honestly could have even taken this even higher. Now, if you take a look at London session high, it's not too far away. And usually when I take these trades, I like to target highs and lows of certain areas. But there was a chance that we could have reversed out of this 1 hour gap without a doubt, So that's why I like being in and out of trades, and I have to worry about whatever is going to happen when I'm not looking at the chart, So if you wanted to take a look, kind of chop around for a little bit, and eventually we hit that London session high. So you could have taken this all the way up, and we see we're still going higher. And then that's where we're currently sitting at. So when we took the Asia high, bro, that's insane. And we're probably going to target these draws on liquidity right here too. So you could see how simple it is. It is such a simple strategy that moves the fucking market, bro. This shit moves. And the reason why this moves so well today is because we got that very strong SMT that we created. So this was that liquidity sweep that that London session swept, and we just had a crazy reversal, So this was perfect. This was a very beautiful entry. 10 out of 10. This is exactly my strategy. And you can see, I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you that we're going to hit this 15-minute fair value gap right here without a doubt. No doubt. No doubt about that. That's also, like, if you look at the 4 hour, I guarantee you it's a 4 hour gap somewhere here. Okay, well, I guess we're inside of a 4 hour gap. But either way, I think we're going to hit that 15-minute gap. No problem. You can see how strong these bullish candles are. We are literally... Majority of these candles are 100% bullish. Like, you could see that candle literally just is about to close, and we're going to have a super strong push, So either way, this is the strategy that I trade. It's a very, very simple strategy. So easy to trade off of. You see how much money I could have made if I held it up here. Like, if I held it to London session high, I would have made over $15,000 on that trade right there. All right, obviously, this is just partial of what I could have made, but I'm not upset about it. This just proves to me that my trades worked and my strategy works. Now, I'm not going to say this is my strategy because everyone uses it. A lot of people use this strategy. It's a very simple, easy strategy. It's not hard. All right. Anytime that you see, another thing I did want to mention, anytime that you see a very good, like, strong push down, creating an inverse, and then a strong candle push up that, like, literally, like, rinses it straight through, Bro, that is telling you to take it. That is literally telling you, bro, if you don't take this, you're going to miss the trade. It's that simple, all right? If you guys know who Dodgy is, he's one of the bigger YouTubers that actually trades this strategy, and I actually found him after I figured out this strategy. And I realized, bro, this is just confirmation that this shit works. Like these inverse fair value gaps with liquidity sweeps and drawn liquidity work, you know? So one thing that he likes to talk about, anytime that you see a strong push down and a strong push through that inverse, this is called the death candle, where it's like it sweeps the liquidity, it creates that very strong inverse. And this candle right here is the revival candle. All right, so this is the candle that revives that inverse or whatever, you know, like whatever you want to call it. But it's that simple of a strategy, bro. And come on, like I guarantee you, like I actually want to sit here and watch this, like just for shits and giggles to see how if this will go. Like you see, just off of that one trade, you could have made over, oh my gosh, 500 fucking points, bro. And if we hit this draw, that'll be almost 600 points. Like that's nuts. Like for example, let's just say I'm gonna take you guys. Let's just do an example. All right, let's say I take these trades with 5 contracts on each account. Okay, so I did about, what was it, 119 points, I believe. 119 points, something like that. Let's go to a new tab. 119. Fuck. Times 5 or times 10, because if you're doing MNQ, you do 2 times of what your fucking thing is. All right, whatever. All right, 1900. Let's just say you do this with 5 accounts, just like how I do. Bro, you made $6,000. You made $6,000 off this one trade just from targeting from here to here. That's it. And this was within 5 minutes, bro. You made $6,000 in 5 minutes. That's nuts. Okay, now let's just say, for example, you do like you're like maxed aloe on everything, bro. Like you have like 20 accounts. All right. Bro, that's $23,000 in one day. That's $24,000 if you round it up. It's $24,000. Now think of it, it's this simple strategy. It works. It literally, like, if you can't see, it works, bro. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hope you learned something new. Peace out.